Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Truck Series Tuesday here for the NOSSCAR drivers on NASCAR Heat 3. It is round 8 of the 2019 Truck Series season from Dover International Speedway. It's the Delaware 200, and we have 27 drivers set to take the green flag. About to bring you live action here. Jimmy Best, still winless this season, on the pole in the number 47 truck. And he still has the lead for now. Here we go, live coverage of the Delaware 200, and we're watching the battle up front. It's Michael Birch in the 51, Jimmy Best in the 47. Side by side heading into 3. Have a healthy gap over the driver running in second. Michael Birch takes the race lead from pole sitter Jimmy Best. So it's Michael Birch, Jimmy Best, and Anthony Trippi, the top 3. You can see Anthony in the yellow number 2 Chevy Silverado, creeping into the picture there in third. There is the leader, Michael Birch. They're coming up on a truck to put him one lap down. That is Kenny Adair in the 92. I can also tell you that it's Nick Don Francesco right here in the 24 Silverado, running in the 4th position, trying to chase down his teammate Anthony Trippi in the 2 just in front of him. And Pat Dale in the 4, running in 5th position just behind him, and that's Dakota Bro. Teammates with Don Francesco in the 52, so the Timac Motorsports Chevy drivers running in 3rd, 4th, and 6th right now. Back up front, Michael Birch leading the way, looking for his first ever NOSSCAR Truck Series win. Trying to put a lap on the 20 machine. That's Dave Marks Jr., not off to the start that he was hoping for here for the Delaware 200. And lap traffic is going to play a role in this race all race long. That's going to really spice things up a bit. Now you see Jimmy Best has caught the back bumper of Michael Birch, and he's hounding him for the lead here. RJ Haywood stays up high. Oh, and problems for your pole sitter, Jimmy Best. I think he got loose or had contact with somebody coming out of the final corner there. I'm really not too sure, actually. His truck abruptly went to the left, and he made contact with the outside wall. Trey Hollywood in the 87 goes one lap down. He's the first truck one lap down. Michael Birch leading the way. Anthony Trippi holds on for second right now. There goes, that's Nate in the 75 going a lap down, and that's Kevin Tattersall in the 10. The leaders are putting on a blistering pace, that's for sure. Next truck to go a lap down, I believe, is Octane in the 7. Oh, never mind, it's the 83, driven by Dustin Franklin. Coming into tonight's event, although he's winless, Keith Ayers in the number 98 Ford F-150 is the points leader by one single point over Jade Burr. who just so happens to be his teammate. Jay Burr with 2 wins and sitting 1 point behind Keith Ayers. Keith got into the wall a little bit there coming out of turn 2, and he lost a couple of spots there. Randy O'Quinn in the 40 was able to get by him. Here's a good battle for position. Nick Francesco, Pat Dale fighting for 3rd. And the yellow truck that you see in front of them from time to time is the 3rd place runner, that being Anthony Trippi in the 2. So they're really not too far off the pace and far behind the race leaders. We're working stage 1. It's a long way to go for these drivers. It's a real grind. 200 laps. We're at Dover International Speedway. And they're all chasing this man. Michael Birch in the 51 putting on a clinic here in the early going of stage 1. Taking a look at Dakota Bro in the number 52 Chevy Silverado. Timac Motorsports has a win this season, so he's locked into the playoffs as long as he attends the minimum amount of races required by a driver to be eligible for the playoffs. And he's well on his way to doing that. He's running inside the top 10 here in Dover. Very uneventful start to the race, and throughout the beginning of the first stage for Anthony Trippi in the 2. Still looking for his first NOSSCAR Truck Series win. Has a win this season in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. Right now you'll find him on the track here at Dover Speedway holding down 2nd place, but being chased by his teammate Nick Francesco closing in on the tailgate of Anthony Trippi. Pat Dale is 4th and Dakota Bro in 5th. It's Michael Birch, Anthony Trippi, Nick Francesco, Pat Dale, and Dakota Bro, your top 5. Remember, it's top 5 who receive points at the end of the stage, and now green flag pit stops have begun. Anthony Trippi is on pit road. Michael Birch is on pit road, surrenders the race lead. Dakota Bro on pit road. All kinds of trucks on pit road. Peyton Larson making his NOSSCAR Truck Series debut. He's on pit road. Jimmy Best in the 47. Nathan O'Hara in the number 3. Didn't look like there was any damage on his truck. Good start for him. Jeff Grady in the 28, Keith Ayers in the 98 on pit road. Oh, and problems for the 25 of RJ Haywood. He's got the nose of that truck pointed against the wall. And he's trying to get it going again. Oh, he's got it going again. Well, we've witnessed the first cycle of green flag pit stops here in Stage 1 of the 2019 Delaware 200 at Dover International Speedway. The NOSSCAR Truck Series is hosted on NASCAR Heat 3 on the PlayStation 4 console. And for more information, you can head over to NOSSCAR.com/Truck Series. Pick a favorite driver and cheer them on in the 2019 season. Taking a short break from commentary. In the meantime, you'll be riding along, getting a close-up view of your race leader, Michael Birch in the number 51 Toyota Tundra. Off to a great start, looking for his first career NOSSCAR Truck Series win. He's putting a lot of fast trucks one lap down early in the going. Don't go anywhere. Commentary comes back in a moment. is working heavy lap traffic. Commentary coming back to you from Dover International Speedway on NASCAR Heat 3. Michael Birch goes to the inside. Cameron Norton in the number 16 Napa Toyota Tundra trying to stay the first truck one lap down. He's got company though. He's got Trey Hollywood in the 87 right behind him. Randy O'Quinn not too far behind him. About 4 trucks close together there battling for the free pass position. And we've only got 8 laps to go. Excuse me, 7 laps to go here in stage 1. There's Anthony Trippi. Remember, he was in the top 5 before the green flag pit stops began. He was in second. He's lost 1 position, and that is to his teammate, Nick Don Francesco. So it's Michael Birch, Nick Don Francesco, and Anthony Trippi, the top 3. Jason Armstrong in the 49, right behind Anthony Trippi in the 2. I believe that he is 1 lap down. We're going to have to check the scoring. The end of stage 1 is approaching. And it's been a flawless start to the race for Michael Birch, holding on for dear life to the race lead. Nick Don Francesco gaining ground. I'd say he's about 25 truck lengths behind now. Just not sure if he's going to have enough time to run down the race leader. And he's also got 2 trucks in between himself and the race leader that are 1 lap down that he's going to need to pass in order to get there. Congratulations, Michael Birch. One heck of a stage win. Valuable playoff point. He needed that. Nick Don Francesco couldn't quite get there. In fact, I don't even see him in camera view. Not sure exactly where he finished in the stage. We'll have to let you know. Your top 5 are Michael Birch, Anthony Trippi in the 2. And there's only 10 trucks on the lead lap, actually. I'm going to have to get the rest of the scoring for you shortly. But we know that Michael Birch and Anthony Trippi are the top 2. They're lining up double file for the restart here in stage number 2. It was Pat Dalefan and Dakota Bro and Jimmy Best rounding out the rest of the top 5 at the end of stage 1. The green flag is in the air. Stage 2 is underway. Michael Birch leads them into turn 1. Whoa, and it looks like a couple of trucks had a connection issue. was a huge wreck there, and on the back straightaway, and oh my goodness. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing. Man, there was a parking lot of trucks on the back straightaway here for the Delaware 200. Out in front of it, smooth and safe, is Michael Birch, Dakota Bro up to second, and Anthony Trippi in third. And as a result of that big wreck, they're coming up on lap traffic. Spoken too much about Jimmy Best, actually, ever since he won the pole. He had that incident early in stage 1, made contact with the inside wall, dropped outside of the top 5. Now he's worked his way back up into the 4th position, trying to take 3rd from Anthony Trippi. He's on the inside. It's a battle for 3rd. And he's going to take it. He's about 2 truck lengths behind Dakota Bro in the 52. He's going to try to get a little bit of draft from the Silverado in front of him if he can. So the top 4 are free of lap traffic. All bumper to tailgate. So we have a 4 truck battle for the lead. Well, they're battling hard for 3rd still. Anthony Trippi, big move back to the inside, couldn't quite get the truck to stick on the inside heading into turn 3. Dove and the number 38 truck having a great run here in stage 2. That's him in 5th position, just in front of Nick Don Francesco. So you're watching the drivers running in 5th and 6th, and it looks like they're not going to battle for the position at this point. They're going to work together, and we got a big wreck in the final corner. Michael Birch, the race leader, was involved. It looked like BJ Thomas in the 99 was involved as well, and Michael Birch drops outside of the top 5. There you see him. Heavy damage to the front end of that Toyota Tundra. He's going to soldier on and try to make it to his pit window, his fuel window, so we can make it on one pit stop at the end of this stage, but that's a tough break. He dominated so far. So your race leader is Jimmy Best. He's picked up where he left off. He's actually got a bit of distance between himself and the drivers behind him. Dakota Bro just took the 2nd position from Anthony Trippi. Remember their teammates, there could have been some work there, but then again, they're both battling with a lap truck there. This is all happening behind your race leader, Jimmy Best in the 47. Negotiating his way through the lap traffic. Just put a lap on Keith Ayers in the 98. Now trying to make a move on Dave Marks Jr. Dave found the wall coming out of turn 4. That gave the spot to the race leader. But here comes Dakota Bro. The 52 truck is flying. only about 4 or 5 truck lengths behind Jimmy Best. And if he can get a little bit of that draft, he should be able to close right in. And we've kind of seen this before as well. If the driver in second can get close enough to the leader and stay in his draft, it's the leader who kind of opens the door for him and the drivers right behind him to make a pass on the lap truck. So it's the leader doing all the work and putting his tires at risk, wearing them out. Jason Armstrong goes a lap down. Jade Burr in the 41 going a lap down. Remember, Jade Burr comes into this race second in the point standings, only 1 point behind Keith Ayers. Oh, Jade Burr found the outside wall. And Dakota Bro got tangled up in it just a little bit because of that. Some front end damage now to the 52, and he's lost a bit of ground now to the race leader. And he's got his teammate Anthony Trippi right behind him with a fresh, clean race truck. No damage on that thing. Stripe this time, it'll be 26 laps to go here in stage 2. I don't think the fuel window is open yet for these drivers. We're gonna take a break from commentary and come back for the pit stops. You're watching the 8th race of the 2019 NASCAR Truck Series season from Dover International Speedway on NASCAR Heat 3. For more information about the NASCAR Truck Series, head over to NASCAR.com/Truck Series. Pick a favorite driver, follow them in the race results and the point standings, and cheer them on towards their championship hopes. Commentary coming back to you in a matter of moments. bring you full commentary, folks. Some trucks have come to pit road early, and most of those trucks are the ones that suffered damage due to on-track incidents throughout Stage 2. But a lot of these guys are nearing the end of their fuel run, so the ones without damage will be coming to pit road soon if they haven't yet. Nick Francesco leading this pack, Dakota Bro just behind him. Jimmy Best has fallen behind them. Michael Birch, after suffering all that damage, is running in the 9th position right now. Trying to hold on until the end of the stage to get that truck repaired and get himself back going in the right direction. We're watching the battle for the stage win between Nick Francesco, Dakota Bro, and Jimmy Best. The 24, the 52, and the 47. The 47 making a move to the inside there. Takes the 2nd position. And sets his sights on your race leader. We know Jimmy can do it. He's dominated a few truck races this season, driver of the 47, but has not walked away with any wins. He's tallied up 6 playoff points, and that's really going to help him in the playoffs if he makes it, but he would love to get a win to clinch his playoff spot and not have to worry for the remainder of the regular season. Good job by Peyton Larson in the 22 to give the leaders room. He let them go by. Nick Francesco coming up on the back bumper of Pat Dale to put him 1 lap down. Pat Dale a little bit up to a bit more closer to full speed, I would say, than Peyton Larson. Less damage to the 4 trucks, so he's not giving up without a bit of a fight here. Nick Francesco gets around him. Pat Dale in between the top 2. Jimmy Best is running out of time, so if he's going to win this stage, there we go. He gets around Pat Dale. Dakota Bro looking to the inside of him as well. Dakota's dropped back a little bit from his teammate up front, but Jimmy Best still has a little bit of his draft. He might be able to close in on the race leader still. Just 2 laps to go. Oh, excuse me, that was the final lap. No closing in. Nick Francesco wins stage 2. Jimmy Best in 2nd, Dakota Bro in 3rd. Jimmy coming up beside Francesco. Maybe saying, hey, good job on the stage win. Maybe saying something else. Fifth was Patrick Hazlitt, we can tell you that. These drivers have one more opportunity to make pit stops under caution, so all that damage that they have is definitely going to get repaired here under yellow. It's just going to depend on who's got less damage, who's got a fast pit stop coming to him. It was Anthony Trippi in the 4th position for stage 2. Those were the top 5 drivers receiving points. Anthony Trippi and Jimmy Best are going to lead them to the line for the final stage. Green flag is in the air. And they were 4 wide coming out of turn 2. That's never a good idea. Info in the 88 loses a few positions. Goes through the grass going into turn 3. And he's coming to pit road. 2 trucks coming to pit road. Anthony Trippi in the 2 and Info in the 88. I wonder if this is some sort of strategy that gives the lead to Jimmy Best. Oh, this is... Oh, and Keith got the apron. Keith got the apron and spun out. Jade Burr had nowhere to go. And Peyton Larson got involved in the 22. And yeah, Keith got the apron over there in 3 and 4. The truck completely went around on him. And the 2 drivers coming into this race, first and second in the point standings, were both involved in that incident. Keith Ayers and Jade Burr, they are way behind. We're getting a report that Anthony Trippi had a bit of a miscommunication with the crew chief. Crew chief wanted him to pit. Anthony Trippi did not pit. He hit the X button and it didn't let him pit. It was weird. So now Anthony Trippi on pit road for service, and that's a tough break because he had a real good chance of winning this race. He was in the top 5 all throughout stage 1 and stage 2. But up front now, it's Jimmy Best, Nick Don Francesco, Dakota Bro, the top 3. They were the top 3 at the end of stage 2. They're the top 3 right now. Don Francesco not letting them get away. So it's Jimmy Best, Nick Don Francesco, Dakota Bro, Patrick Hazlitt, and Brad Dove. That is your top 5 right now. Michael Birch in the 51 has climbed all the way back up to the 6th position. There he is, Pat Dale right behind him in 7th. Randy O'Quinn in the 40 truck right there in 8th, and Nathan O'Hara in the 3 in 9th. And we had somebody coming off pit road there. Looked like Cameron Norton in the number 16 Napa Toyota Tundra. Well, they're side by side for 4th and 5th here. Brad Dove looking for 4th from the 15 of Patrick Hazlitt, and he takes it. Michael Birch is coming up on the tailgate of the 15 now, trying to join this party. Now looking to the inside of Patrick. He'll take the 5th position. And if you're joining the race coverage now, Michael Birch was probably the fastest truck on the racetrack throughout stage 1 and 2. Got caught up in an on-track incident in stage 2 involving BJ Thomas in the 99. And Michael Birch has, ever since then, he's been slowly but surely working his way back towards the front, trying to win this thing. He's up to 5th and now working on the back bumper now, the tailgate of Brad Dove in the 38. Brad having a great run. Brad Dove has a win in the 2019 NASCAR Dirt Touring Series so far this season, so he's locked into the playoffs for that. Michael Birch gets the job done with a nice move to the inside, takes the position. Up to fourth. Meanwhile, the battle for the race lead is still on. Jimmy Best and Nick Donfrancesco first and second, and Dakota Bro in third. Nick Donfrancesco and Dakota Bro are teammates. You'd think they'd be working together, but it appears to be the opposite at this point. Looks like Jimmy Best and Nick Donfrancesco maybe trying to work together and use the draft and not battle each other to perhaps put some distance in between themselves and Dakota. Pardon me. "97 laps to go." Coming around now to have 96 laps to go here in the Delaware 200. And whenever the leaders catch lap traffic, they do catch their draft a little bit as well. So as you can see, Jimmy Best is pulling about a truck length or two in front, out ahead of Nick Donfrancesco, and both of them have been able to drive away from Dakota Bro, who now sits comfortably in third, no longer a threat for the race lead at this time. The two leaders coming up on lap traffic, they got a bit of the draft from the 92. They got Peyton Larson in the 22 just in front of them, and Info in the 88. Contact with the wall was made. Kenny Adair in the 92 not having the race he was hoping for here at Dover Speedway. A couple of laps down with a lot of front end damage to that truck. Just trying to get to the finish and get some points so you can build a run for the playoffs. Remember, Kenny Adair won the Tailgate 250 at Daytona. He's clinched into the playoffs. He can gamble for more wins as the season progresses, knowing that he's going to be in the playoffs. Here's a good shot of Dakota. Strong run, running in third. Now, a moment ago, Michael Birch got passed by Brad Dove in the 38, so maybe Michael Birch wore his tires out trying to get back to the front. We need to back it down and cool them off a little bit before making another charge at it. Randy O'Quinn just took the 6th position away from Pat Dale. Randy O'Quinn, a rookie here in the 2019 NASCAR Truck Series season, has been bitten by the bad luck bug at most of the events thus far. Showing good speed as always and hoping to get a good finish out of it here today. Green flag pit stops have begun. Jimmy Best, Nick Donfrancesco on pit road, surrendering first and second. Dakota Bro staying on the racetrack. He'll lead a lap. Michael Birch in the 51 comes down pit road as well. Looks like Jeff Grady in the 28 on pit road for service. Kevin Tattersall in the 10. Dustin Franklin in the 83. 82 laps to go. I'm not sure exactly what kind of fuel mileage these guys are getting, but I think that a lot of these drivers can make it on another 2 pit stops between now and the checkered. Jimmy Best was able to get out a lot quicker than Nick Francesco, so it's the 47 car looking like he's going to be the race leader when this all cycles back through. Remember, Dakota Bro in the 52 stayed out an extra lap, so I don't think he's going to gain any track position on Jimmy Best. This could be the race where Jimmy parks it in victory lane. He's come so close so many times this season. He's dominated a few of these races to begin the year. And it's looking good for him so far. He's got a nice healthy gap over the driver in second, and that looks like it's Nick Francesco once we complete the cycle of green flag pit stops. Anthony Trippi in the 2 is on pit road. Info in the 88 is on pit road. Some of these drivers are a little bit off sequence. Info leaving the pits now. We haven't spoken much about Keith Ayers. He's been involved in a couple of on-track incidents. He has heavy front-end damage to that Ford F-150, but he comes into this race as the points leader, so even though he doesn't have a win, he's still looking good when it comes to making the playoffs. Hoping for a better run at Texas, the main event later tonight. "77 laps to go here, the Delaware 200. They're all chasing Jimmy Best, who's looking to be the best on this day. Capture his first NOSSCAR Truck Series win. An elusive first Truck Series win. Burr in the number 41 Ford F-150, heavy front end damage to his race truck. Lets the leader go by. Knows that it's better to fight another day. Comes into this race 1 point behind the points leader Keith Ayers. However, Keith Ayers and Jay Burr both had a bit of a struggling performance here today at Dover Speedway. They're going to take a hit in the points. "26 drivers started the event. I believe that we still have 24 trucks on the lead lap. Problems for Cameron Norton in the number 16 Napa Toyota Tundra. He was slow. There he is. He was slowed down towards the inside on the front straightaway. Now slow on the back straightaway as well. Looks like he's trying to get to pit road. Only got a battle for position here. 3 wide. Michael Birch, Brad Dove, Dakota Bro. They're battling for the 3rd position. Dakota holds on. They're back to single file now. The 52 leading the pack. Man, that got crazy in a hurry. They race so much differently when it's the final stage. And you're seeing 3 of the best battle for position here. spread there through 1 and 2. Michael Birch falls back behind these two. Side by side now for the 3rd position. Brad Dove retakes it. See, the thing is, 3rd position pays out a playoff point at the end of this thing, so this is a key position to battle for. 3 playoff points to the race winner. 1 playoff point rather, for the drivers who finish in 2nd and 3rd. Oh, and problems for Peyton Larson. I didn't see what caused it, but the 22 went nose first into the inside wall, exiting turn 4, I believe it was, against the wall that divides the pit road entrance from the track, and that's a tough break for him. There's Nick Don Francesco. He's running in the 2nd position, having a good run here. Down the back straightaway now. He's got some lap traffic to deal with. He's got 3 trucks a lap down in between himself and the race leader, Jimmy Best. There is Jimmy. Well, there you see Cameron Norton again, the number 16, Napa Tundra. Not sure what happened to him, but he's got it rolling again, and now issues with Kevin Tattersall in the 10. He was slowed down on the apron. Didn't see what happened to him either. It's easy to miss the action here. We do what we can to bring you the live coverage here on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel. We're glad that you're joining us. The 2019 NOSSCAR Truck Series season. It's hosted on NASCAR Heat 3 on the PlayStation 4 console, and to catch all the action on Tuesday nights for the Truck Series, subscribe here to the NOSSCAR YouTube channel. You won't miss a thing. Kevin made it safely to the pit lane in the number 10 truck. And now Jimmy Best is in a hornet's nest, and contact was made between himself and one of the trucks a lap down. I couldn't see what number they were. It's getting intense out there. Jimmy's got to go. He knows that Nick Don Francesco is coming. Looking at Nick Don Francesco, he's working on running down the race leader. Comes into this race in 22nd in the point standings, believe it or not. It's been a terrible start to the season for him so far. Looking to turn it all around here today at Dover International Speedway. It's been a tremendous 2019 Motormaster Series season for him. 3 wins so far, and he holds the points lead. And here he comes on pit road, and evidently Jeff Grady in the 28 is out of this race. He's been parked in his pit stall for a number of laps now. Not going to be able to get that thing repaired. There's Dakota Bro in the 52. He has not come to pit road yet. He stays out an extra lap like he did before. Jimmy Best in the 47 comes to pit road. Nate in the 75. Dustin Franklin in the 83. Several trucks rather, On pit road, Pat Dale in the Ford. And we'll have to see where Jimmy Best is compared to Nick Don Francesco. Remember, Don Francesco pit 1 lap sooner, so he's going to have one extra lap on those fresh Goodyear Eagles. He might be able to gain some time here. There's Jimmy coming out of the pits. There's Don Francesco coming into one, and wow, that's how important the tires are, folks. Nick Don Francesco is going to be the leader once the green flag pit stops cycle through. Randy O'Quinn in the 40 on pit road. Patrick Hazlitt in the 15. Oh, and there was a problem for Nate on the front straightaway. He was just on pit road for service. Pardon me. Give a call to the pit crew of the number 24 team. Putting Nick Don Francesco out front. To take the outside line there to put a lap on Trey Hollywood in the 87. Whoa! And Jade Burr and Trey Hollywood got into each other on the back straightaway, and they both went around and hit the inside wall. Man, it has been a rough race for Jade Burr. It has not been his race. Tell you what, though, Jimmy Best is coming. 55 laps to go when they hit the stripe this time by, and Jimmy Best is catching him. Trey Hollywood is out of fuel, it looks like, towards the entrance of pit road. Well, you're watching the battle for the race lead, approaching the 50 laps to go mark here at Dover International Speedway. Stepping away from commentary for a few minutes, you're watching round 8 of the 2019 NASCAR Truck Series season, hosted on NASCAR Heat 3 on the PlayStation 4 console. For more information, head over to NOSSCAR.com/truckseries. Choose your favorite driver, follow them all season long in the race results list and the point standings. Cheer them on. Full commentary coming back to you in a matter of moments, folks. Don't go anywhere. Nick Don Francesco in the 24 is your leader. bring you full commentary for the final stage here at Dover International Speedway, round 8 of the 2019 Truck Series season. It's the Delaware 200, and it's being led by Nick Francesco in the 24, Jimmy Best in the 47 in second. And if you were watching during the commercial break, if you call it that, the lack of commentary, you would have noticed that Michael Birch in the 51 truck was surging back towards the front for a battle for the lead. And then he started to lose them a little bit. Now Nick Francesco comes down pit road. This is planned. Scheduled pit stop. Jimmy Best stays out. There is Jimmy. I believe that Michael Birch in the 51 stayed out as well. Yes, he did. There he is. Now Jimmy Best comes down pit road, surrenders the race lead. Michael Birch on pit road. These are all scheduled pit stops. We're going to have to see where Jimmy Best is. There he is on pit road. He's leaving his stall now. Here comes Nick Francesco in the 24. Looks like this time it's going to be Jimmy Best staying in front of Francesco. Oh, maybe not. Here comes the 24 on the outside. Now the pit stops have not completely cycled through, so it's not Francesco leading the race right now. Brad Dove stayed out to lead a lap. Michael Birch stayed out a couple of extra laps. Both of these drivers are looking for their first career NOSSCAR Truck Series win. It's hard to believe that neither of these drivers have a Truck Series win yet. And it looks like today might be the day. They just put a lap on Patrick Hazlitt and Jason Armstrong. Now more trucks coming onto pit road for their pit stops. I don't think that these are going to be their final pit stops. I think everyone's going to have to pit one more time before the end of this one. Now Info in the 88 on pit road. Info's 5 laps down. Not having the race that he was hoping for. That's one of those races where you can't wait for it to be over. There he is. Tough break, too, coming in here. Strong hopes. Always fast at Dover Speedway. And don't count out Michael Birch in the 51. I know that he's got a lot of time to make up right now, but there's a lot of trucks a lap down out there that these leaders are having to deal with. I'd say every dozen or 2 laps. So it's really going to be all about how these leaders catch the lap traffic and how quick they can work their way around them. Right here is the battle for the lead. Jimmy Best, Nick Francesco. They're coming up on Pat Dale in the 4. That's Peyton Larson in the 22. They both go to the outside to give him plenty of space. Looked like Peyton got a little bit out of shape and might have even got a bump from Pat Dale. I'm not sure. Some fast trucks about to go a lap down. There's Dakota Bro in the 52. I believe that he's about to go a lap down. Oh, and there was a big wreck in turns 3 and 4. Oh, I couldn't quite get any footage of it there. Oh, that was a huge one. Right near the leaders. Something had to have happened to Dakota, bro, because he is a lap down in the 52. Jimmy Best in the lead. Nick Francesco in second. Now Dakota gives way to his teammate, lets Don Francesco go by. He knows that he's got a shot to win this thing, and he doesn't, so he might as well let Don Francesco have a crack at it here. Jimmy Best is the pole sitter. He was the strongest truck on the track, I'd say, through stage 2. Stage 1 seemed to belong to Michael Birch in the 51. Nick Francesco came on strong in the final stage. And now Jimmy Best is back. Back on top and back out front. About a truck length advantage between himself and Don Francesco. 2 different teams. 2 different manufacturers. But they both have one goal, and that's to win. Five laps to go. Have pretty open track in front of them. All they have is the 3 of Nathan O'Hara. Right when I say that, it was info in the 88 going through the grass area, but he's going to pit road. The track once again clear for the leaders. And that's what Jimmy Best in the 47 wants to see. Here comes Don Francesco on pit road for what we assume is his final pit stop of the race. Now Jimmy Best coming down pit road. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to see where exactly Nick Francesco and Jimmy Best are when they come off pit road. We're going to see if anyone stretches it far enough to perhaps do a splash of fuel type of strategy. Under 20 laps to go in the Delaware 200. Nick Don Francesco coming around through 3 and 4 now. We're going to see where exactly Jimmy Best is. They're the two battling for the win, of course. I see Randy O'Quinn in the 40. Where's Jimmy? There he is. Oh, it's going to be close. Jimmy comes up on the track. Oh, there was a truck wrecked on the back straightaway. I didn't see who it was. We're focusing on the race win right now, the race lead. And that's between Nick Don Francesco and Jimmy Best. More trucks on pit road, including Dave Marks Jr. in the 20. Anthony Trippi on pit road, BJ Thomas on pit road. And we apparently have a plain black truck out there, and it's really difficult to tell who that is, but they went a lap down. That's different. Jimmy Best is closing in on him. I guess in a way he's got 1 lap fresher tires than the 24 if that comes into play. I don't know, we'll have to see. Now Brad Dove comes down pit road. Patrick Hazlitt in the 15 as well. Nate in the 75. Kevin Tattersall in the 10. Brad Dove in the 38 on pit road, surrendering a top 5 spot. Pat Dale in the 4. Ran inside the top 10 all race long. Hoping to wrap up the day on a high note. Randy O'Quinn showing good speed. Got involved in an incident early on. Had a solid stage 2. Got into the back of that truck there, but that's because the truck was going to pit road and wasn't really all the way down the track. And contact between Dakota Bro and Peyton Larson. And around goes Kenny Adair in the 92. Nick Don Francesco and Jimmy Best are both involved. Oh my goodness. That huge wreck just caused huge problems for the 2 race leaders, the 24 and the 47. So Don Francesco is the leader. Wow, that really changes the complexion of this race. Jimmy Best is still in second, and he's right there, but oh, you can tell he's driving angry. And sometimes you do your best driving when you're angry. Jimmy Best is flying. Look at him. That yellow truck was not there just about a lap and a half ago. Give it another lap and a half, and he's going to be on the tailgate of the 24, and it's not over. Under 10 laps to go in the Delaware 200. These 2 drivers looking for their first career NASCAR Truck Series win. Jimmy Best to the inside. He takes the race lead from Don Francesco. Could that be for the win? Was that the only chance Don Francesco had? Wow, I don't know what's going on with Don Francesco. He might have an issue. He's not keeping up to speed with the 47. He's not maintaining speed with him. And the gap is growing. And we've only got 6 laps to go. Pardon me, folks. They have 6 laps to go now when they hit the stripe. And it's Jimmy Best out front. Man, I don't know what's going on with Nick DeFrancesco, but the battle for the lead is no more. Jimmy Best cruising away with this thing. Looking to hold on for another 5 laps for his first ever NASCAR Truck Series win. That elusive first NASCAR Truck Series win might come today for Jimmy Best. He needs to hold on for another 3 laps in the Delaware 200. 26 drivers started the race. 200 laps, and only 1 driver would park it in victory lane and spray the champagne, and it looks like it might be your pole winner, Jimmy Best. We'll find out here. He's got to hold on for another 2 laps. He's got a good gap over the drivers behind him. It's Michael Birch up into the 2nd position now. In fact, I don't see Nick DeFrancesco. I don't know where the 24 went. Larson's parked against the inside wall. Michael Birch is gaining ground on Jimmy Best. But it's not going to be enough. The checkered flag is in the air, and Jimmy Best wins the Delaware 200. He captures his first career NASCAR Truck Series victory. Michael Birch finishes in 2nd. What a race. Check that, folks. There was a scoring issue there. Michael Birch was actually a few laps down. Jimmy Best wins. Nick DeFrancesco in 2nd. Brad Dove in 3rd. Dakota Bro in 4th. Patrick Hazlitt in the 15, rounding out the top 5. Michael Birch in 6th in the 51. Pat Dale 7th. Dustin Franklin in 8th. B.J. Thomas in 9th. And Anthony Trippi rounding out the top 10. 26 drivers started the race. And when the smoke cleared, it was Jimmy Best capturing his first ever win. It was an elusive one, as we mentioned. He dominated multiple races earlier this season. Came so close to winning the race. He would lead the most laps and fall short or become a victim of an on-track incident late in the race and would just simply not win that day. Well, today it was not like that. We're going to get a word with your race winner here. We just invited him into the commentary booth. Do you have your voice set so everyone can hear you?
Double check right now. Yes, good.
Awesome. Joining us now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, the winner of the 2019 Delaware 200 at Dover, driver of the 47 Toyota Tundra, Jimmy Best. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's my pleasure, man.
Well, that elusive first win finally came here in the NOSSCAR Truck Series for you, and it came here at Dover. Congratulations, first of all. Secondly, how did you do it, man? We saw you battling with Nick Donfrancesco, Michael Burcham. We saw you get involved in a couple of incidents, and you had to fight your way back to the front on more than one occasion. How did you pull that off?
I was just I was just able to maintain a consistent truck. Even when if I had a little bit of aero damage, I wasn't too far off of where I was running before. With about 10 to go, me and Napa were right, or me and Nick were right there, bumper to bumper, and then two cars wrecked in front of us, and we both got damage from it. Sadly, he had a little bit of engine damage and a little more aero damage than I had. So I wish we could have been able to battle to the end, but it just lap cars were a little tricky to get by at this track.
Now that you have a win and you're clinched and locked into the playoffs, does this mean you're going to gamble and maybe perhaps pull off some pit strategy?
I don't know. For some tracks, yes. For some tracks, no. There are certain tracks where you can be able to gain some more fuel by just letting off a little earlier than others. And then there's some tracks where everybody's going to go hard the entire time, and we're just going to have to hit it around the same time. Am I going to try some fuel strategy? Yes. But if I'm going to get a good point stay, that's the main thing, and try to collect as many stage points as possible.
Well, you did just that. Congratulations on your first NOSSCAR Truck Series win.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was Jimmy Best, driver of the number 47 Toyota Tundra, emerging victorious tonight. Gonna get an interview with your runner-up finisher. And that being Nick Donfrancesco. Up until this point, he's kind of struggled, so he really needed a solid finish like this. He might be declining the interview, so we're going to see if we can get a quick word with your third place finisher. Oh, ah, you got your voice set so you can be heard?
I believe so.
Awesome. Joining us now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, driver finishing in the second position, driver of the 24 Chevy Silverado, Nick Donfrancesco. Thanks for joining us. You had a solid race there. You were battling for the lead for most of it. You seem to be struggling so far up until this point in the NOSSCAR Truck Series season, though. So this is something you really needed, right?
No, that's for sure. I mean, I finished outside the top 10 in most of the races so far this year, except for this one. So this was a big turnaround for my team and I. So Just
What
move on to the next week and hopefully get the W.
what does this second place finish do for you? What does this give you the confidence you need to build on a successful run to make the playoffs?
It definitely does. It's gonna start somewhere. It's gonna start now. Hopefully, but you never know. Anything can happen.
That's the next question I was going to ask you. Anything can happen, and it usually does. And it seemed to be that way here at Dover today, especially in stage 2 and the final stage. What was the toughest challenge out there for you today?
Trying to get through the lap cars as quick as possible. And then pit road was definitely a challenge, and try not to miss it.
Is
Those
there
are my
any...
two biggest challenges.
Sorry about that. Is there anything you could have done differently to capture the win today?
Not get caught up in that wreck with like 10 to go, I believe it was. I think that's where my race ended right there.
Yeah, that's a shame. Still, congratulations on a second place finish, and best of luck to you later tonight at Texas.
All right, thank you.
That was Nick Francesco, driver of the number 24 Chevy Silverado, picking up a second place finish here today at Dover, and now joining us in the commentary booth, driver of the number 38 Chevy Silverado, Brad Dove, picking up his first top 3 of the season. It's a valuable playoff point for you, Brad. How do you feel about that?
Well, lap traffic rocks at the beginning kind of screwed me out of having a chance to get up there. It is what it is. It's a good run, I guess, considering I haven't run that too many races in the truck this year, so I'll take it. Move on to the next one. Hopefully be up front again. Better luck than Xfinity for sure.
How important were tires out there? We saw drivers short pitting and gaining a lot of track time on the drivers in front of them, but there wasn't too much fall off after that.
Well, my truck was good on the long run. It handled better on more tires. I used the high side, so I was saving more of my tires than anything. So coming later in the run, I was able to run down a few guys. Ran down, who the heck did I run down now? D-Nubs. Caught him. He was saving a little bit of tires early in the run, and we had a heck of a battle tonight. But they're pretty important, that's for sure.
What's your plans moving forward heading into the playoffs? I believe you're outside the cut line right now.
Try to get a win. Going to gamble.
There
Throw
you
some Hail
go.
Marys there.
Well, we wish you the best of luck and congratulations on a third place finish.
Thanks. God, just put yourself in position for a win one of these times, and hopefully pitch strategy will play out. Thanks for the interview.
Absolutely. That was Brad Dove, driver of the number 38 Chevy Silverado. We had slight communication issues there. There was either a very big delay in between both of our conversation there, or something. I was talking over him by an accident there, but a very good third place finish for him and his team. That's exactly what he needed. I'd like to thank everybody for watching the broadcast. The 2019 Delaware 200 is in the history books. The first 8 races of the 2019 season have come to a close. Jimmy Best in the number 47 Toyota Tundra pulling off the win and picking up his first career NOSSCAR Truck Series win. It was an elusive one, but now that he's got it, he can rest easy knowing he's going to be a part of the playoffs. From all of us here at NOSSCAR, we're saying so long, and until next Tuesday, stay fast.